How did one funny line to a stranger turn into divorce papers handed to me in a building lobby at lunchtime? Why did my husband stay calm in public while my phone blew up with people calling me the problem? I thought I controlled the story until his legal result landed in front of witnesses. My name is Alithea Binnie. I was 34, and I like to think I had good taste. I worked in marketing at a regional insurance company. My days were tight, full of emails and deadlines. I told myself I carried the house on my back. I told myself I carried Ethan too. Ethan Caldwell was my husband. He was 36. He fixed building systems and talked like a manual. He loved lists. He loved rules. He loved being reasonable. At least that is what I said when I wanted people on my side. That night started like a prize. Cassidy Lane had invited me out, and Paige, my sister, said I needed it. I wore a dress that made me feel sharp. I said I did it for me. I also wanted to be seen. We went to a rooftop lounge downtown. There was music, and the kind of light that made everyone look softer. Cassidy took photos before we even sat down. She asked if she should post right away. I said yes. I told her it was fine. I said I was not hiding. Paige asked if Ethan knew where I was. I said he knew I needed space. She asked what that meant. I said it meant he should stop acting like my boss. Cassidy laughed and said, "Men always got scared when women had fun." I liked that line. It made me feel like a hero. We stood on the smoking patio because the air inside was thick. I did not even smoke much. I just liked the patio. It felt like a stage. People leaned in close and spoke like secrets mattered. A man I did not know started talking to us. He looked clean and sure. He asked if we were celebrating something. I said I was celebrating freedom. He asked what I meant. I said marriage could feel like a cage if the wrong person held the key. Cassidy made a face like, "Yes, tell him." Paige looked nervous but smiled anyway. The stranger asked if my husband was here. I said no. He asked why not. I said he did not belong in places like this. I said it lightly, like it was a joke. I had practiced that kind of laugh. Cassidy laughed too loud. Paige tried to laugh softer, like she wanted it to pass. The stranger asked if my husband was jealous. I said he was insecure. I said Ethan always made things about himself. I said he acted like my body was a contract. I did not say it in a serious tone. I made it sound funny. The stranger smiled like he understood. Then the moment happened. It was simple and stupid. The stranger asked if Ethan still had a place with me, like I was a hotel. Cassidy leaned closer and said, "Tell him." I wanted to feel bold. I wanted the strangers around us to think I was fearless. So I joked. I said my husband had no place in my bed if he could not keep up with me. I said it with a bright smile, like it was harmless. I even lifted my glass like a toast to my own line. I heard a sound behind me, a door, a small scrape. I turned and saw Ethan at the patio entrance. He was not inside the crowd. He was just there, still, like someone paused him. For 1 second, my stomach dropped. I felt heat in my neck. Then I fixed it fast. I told myself it was his fault for showing up like that. I told myself he was trying to trap me. Ethan walked closer. He did not shout. He did not grab me. He did not do anything dramatic. That calm made me feel smaller, and I hated that feeling. He asked if I was ready to go. I said I was talking. He asked who the man was. I said he was nobody. He asked what I meant by my joke. I said it was just a joke, and he always took things too seriously. Cassidy stepped in like a guard dog. She asked Ethan why he was policing me. She said I deserved a night out. Paige said Ethan should not make a scene. I saw people watching. I saw a woman lift her phone like she might film. I did not stop her. Part of me liked the idea that Ethan would look bad. Ethan asked me to come with him. I said I was not a child. He said he was here to pick me up because it was late. I said he came because he could not trust me. He asked if I wanted him to leave. I said maybe he should, if he could not handle my sense of humor. I looked at the stranger and smiled like Ethan was boring. I wanted that man to see that I had power. I wanted Ethan to feel replaced, even if it was only in my tone. Ethan said we should talk at home. I said there was nothing to talk about. He asked why I needed strangers to laugh at him. I said I did not, and he was twisting it. I said he always made me the villain when I tried to have fun. Cassidy said I could ride with them. I said no. I wanted to show Ethan I chose the car, not him. I walked past him first. I made sure my heels clicked loud. In the car, Ethan drove like he always did, both hands on the wheel, eyes forward. No speeding, no swerving, nothing that could be used against him. That is what I thought later, and it annoyed me. He asked why I said those things. I said he embarrassed me by showing up. He asked if I believed what I said. I said I believed he should try harder. He asked what try harder meant. I said he should stop acting like an old man. He stayed quiet for a stretch. I filled the silence because silence feels like losing. I told him he did not touch me enough. I told him he looked at me like a problem. I told him I felt alone. I left out the part where I liked being alone when it served me. He asked if I wanted marriage counseling. I said he only wanted counseling so someone could tell me I was wrong. He asked if I wanted space. I said I wanted respect. I said, respect follows results, and I had results. I did not explain what I meant. I liked leaving it hanging. When we got home, the kitchen light was harsh. It made the night feel cheap. Ethan went to the sink and rinsed his travel mug. He did not touch mine. He placed his mug on the far side of the counter, like a border. I asked if he was going to punish me with silence. He said he was tired. I asked if he wanted to sleep on the couch. He said he would sleep in the guest room for now. I said he was being dramatic. He did not answer. He picked up his phone. A notification flashed for a second. I saw it because I was watching him like a hawk. It looked like a calendar reminder. It said something like, downtown 10:20 a.m. I asked what that was. He said it was a personal reminder. I asked why he needed personal reminders. He said he had errands. I told myself he was trying to scare me with mystery. I told myself he wanted me to beg. I did not beg. He walked upstairs without slamming anything. I listened to the door of the guest room close. The sound was soft, but it landed hard. I stood in the kitchen alone and stared at the two mugs. I told myself I was right. I told myself Ethan pushed me to this. I told myself a joke could not hurt a strong man. Still, when I went to bed, his side was empty, and the sheets felt cold, in a way that made the room feel too big. In the morning, I woke up angry, like anger could erase what happened. I walked into the bathroom and looked at my face like it was a brand. I told myself I still looked like the person who was right. Ethan was already up. I heard him in the kitchen. The sound was small, like he was trying not to be seen. When I went down, he had made the kids' lunches. Maya was tying her shoes. Noah was asking for cereal again, even though the bowl was full. Maya asked why Dad slept in the other room. I said Dad needed space because he got upset too fast. Ethan heard me and did not correct it. He just put the lunchboxes in a neat row. That silence felt like a challenge. Ethan asked if I was still going to work. I said yes, because I had a real job and bills did not pay themselves. He asked if we could talk later. I said there was nothing new to say. He asked if I understood why he came to the patio. I said he came because he did not trust me. He said he came because he did not want me walking home late. I said he always made himself the hero. I left the house with my head high. I sent Cassidy a message and asked if she had posted anything. She replied that she had posted a short clip because it was too good. I told her it was fine. I told myself it was fine. I even liked the idea that people saw me laughing. At work, the building felt colder than usual. The lights were bright. My badge beeped, and I wondered for a second if the beep always sounded that sharp. I went to my desk and opened my emails like I was normal. Then the first thing happened. A co-worker named Tessa walked by and looked at me like she knew a secret. She asked if I had a fun night. I said yes, I had needed it. She asked if my husband was okay. I said he was dramatic and he would calm down. A few minutes later, another coworker, Mark, leaned over my cubicle wall. He asked if I had been at the rooftop lounge downtown. I said maybe. He said he thought he saw me in a video. I asked what video. He said it was on Cassidy's page, and someone had shared it to a local group chat. My stomach did that drop again, but I did not show it. I asked Mark why people were sharing it. He said it was funny and a little harsh. I told him Ethan had started it by acting controlling. Mark raised his eyebrows and said he did not know Ethan that way. That was the first crack. I had not expected anyone to defend Ethan. In my mind, Ethan was the kind of man everyone would agree was too much. I did not like learning that my coworkers saw him as calm. Cassidy sent another message. She said the clip was getting comments. She said people loved it. She said I looked confident. She added a laughing emoji, like it was all a game. I opened the clip on my phone even though I knew I should not. I watched my own face. I watched my smile. I heard my own voice say the line about Ethan and my bed. It sounded meaner than I remembered. It sounded like I wanted it to hurt. I told myself the camera always made things look worse. I told myself people did not understand the context. I told myself context was everything. Around 10, my manager, Brenda, walked to my desk with her polite smile. She asked if I could step into a small room for a quick word. She said it like she was doing me a favor. In the HR room, the air smelled like coffee and printer paper. Brenda sat across from me. A man from HR, Devin, sat to the side with a notebook. Devin asked if I was okay. I said yes, and I asked why I was here. Devin said a video was circulating that mentioned my husband and my marriage. He said some coworkers were concerned about workplace gossip and possible conflict. He asked if I expected my husband to contact the office. I said Ethan was not that type. Then I paused, because I realized that sounded like I was admitting he was stable. So I adjusted. I said Ethan had been acting unpredictable lately because he was jealous. I said he had shown up at the lounge without warning. I said he liked to make me feel watched. I did not say it as a big claim. I said it like it was common sense. Brenda asked if Ethan had ever come to the office. I said no, but I said he always wanted to know where I was. Devin asked if I felt unsafe. I almost said yes, because I knew the word could tilt the room, but I also knew I could not overplay it without proof. So I said I felt pressured sometimes. I said he used silence like a punishment. I said the joke was a coping thing. Devin asked if I could keep personal matters off company channels. I said I had not posted the clip. It was my friend. Devin asked if I could ask my friend to take it down. I said it was not fair to blame me for other people's posts. Brenda asked me to think about it anyway. I said I would. When I left the room, my cheeks were hot. I felt like they had looked at me like a risk, not a person. I hated that. I hated that my fun had turned into a meeting. At lunch, I sat with Tessa and 2 other women. They asked what the HR meeting was about. I said HR was overreacting and acting like a joke was a crime. I said it was because some people could not handle a woman with boundaries. I used the word boundaries on purpose. It made me sound wise. Tessa asked if Ethan had heard it. I said yes, but I said he had walked in at the worst moment on purpose. I said he wanted to catch me doing something wrong. One of the women asked why he would do that. I said because he liked control. I said he would rather shame me than fix himself. They nodded, but not all the way. I could feel it. They were listening, but they were not sold. That bothered me more than open judgment. Open judgment I could fight. Quiet doubt was harder. When I got home, Ethan was not in the kitchen. The kids were with Marjorie for the afternoon, which I had not agreed to. I checked my phone. I had a message from Ethan saying his mom had offered to help with pickup and he had accepted. He asked if I was okay with it. I did not reply right away. I walked through the house like I was searching for proof of something. In the living room, everything looked the same, but it felt different. The air felt organized in a new way, like someone had started sorting the mess. I went to the small desk area near the hallway. Ethan's laptop was open for once. I should not have looked, but I did. There was a spreadsheet on the screen. No title, no bright colors, just rows and columns. I could not tell what it tracked. Dates, short notes, small numbers. It looked boring, which made it scary. I asked Ethan later what that was. He came in from the garage and asked why I was on his computer. I said it was on the desk and I had seen it. He asked what I needed. I said I needed to know why he was tracking things. He said he was organizing life. I said that sounded like a cover. He said I could stop assuming and start asking directly. While we talked, the printer in the corner made a noise. A blank page slid out, like someone had pressed print by mistake. Ethan looked at it and picked it up slowly. He did not throw it away in front of me. He folded it once and set it aside. Then his phone buzzed. The screen showed a missed call. It said, "No caller ID." I asked who that was. He said it was nothing. I asked why he got calls from nothing. He said some numbers hide their ID. I asked if he was talking to someone about me. He asked why I always jumped to that. I felt the ground move under my feet, just a little. I wanted to attack first so I would not feel afraid. I told him the video was making people talk at work. He asked why there was a video. I said Cassidy posted it, and it was not my fault. He asked if I asked her to post it. I said I did not stop her. He asked why I did not stop her. I said because I was tired of being policed. Ethan asked if I would ask Cassidy to take it down. I said no, because it would make me look weak. He nodded once, like he had expected that answer. He did not argue. He just walked to the kitchen and put his mug on the far side again. That night, the house was quiet. I told myself he was doing the silence thing again. I told myself it was abuse without bruises. I told myself I was still the one being wronged. But when I lay in bed, I could not stop seeing the spreadsheet grid in my head, and the blank printer page, and that no-caller ID call that he did not explain. The fundraiser was on Thursday evening at the community hall near the school. It was not fancy. It had folding chairs, paper signs, and a long table with raffle baskets. Still, people treated it like a big stage because everyone knew everyone. Cassidy told me we should go as a group and own the story. She said the clip was still getting comments. She said people loved a woman who spoke her mind. Paige said we should be careful because kids would be there. I said kids were fine as long as adults acted normal. I arrived with Cassidy and Paige. I wore a bright sweater on purpose. I wanted to look warm and easy. I told myself it would make Ethan look colder if he showed up. Inside, the room smelled like coffee and cheap perfume. Parents stood in circles. Teachers smiled too hard. A volunteer asked me if I wanted to buy raffle tickets. I said yes, and I made sure to pull out my card with a little flourish, like I had no problems at home. Cassidy nudged me and pointed at a group near the stage. She said a few people had seen the clip. She said we should not act ashamed. I said shame was for people who lied. I told myself I was not lying. I was just editing. Then I saw Ethan. He walked in with Noah holding his hand and Maya walking close. He looked like he had come for them, not for me. He wore a plain jacket. His hair was neat. He did not scan the room like a hunter. He just moved toward the sign-in desk and spoke to a teacher in a calm way. A part of me wanted him to look messy. I wanted him to look like a man losing control. He did not give me that. Cassidy whispered that he looked sad. Paige whispered that we should not start anything. I said I was not starting anything, but I took a step so Ethan would notice me. Ethan looked up. His eyes went to me and then away, like I was a wall sign he had already read. That felt worse than anger. Anger would have meant I mattered. I walked closer anyway. I asked if he was going to ignore me all night. He asked if the kids could pick a basket first. I said he was using the kids as a shield. He said he was here for the kids and he wanted a quiet night. I said quiet nights were his favorite because they kept me small. Maya asked if we could go see the cake table. Ethan said yes, and he asked me if I wanted to come with them. His voice was flat, like an invitation to a meeting, not a family moment. I said I would come, but I said it like I was doing him a favor. At the cake table, a few parents watched us. One woman smiled at Ethan and said he was always so helpful at school events. I felt a sting. I wanted that praise. I told myself he only got it because he played the good guy. Ethan asked Maya which cake she liked. Maya pointed at a chocolate one with blue sprinkles. Noah asked for the biggest slice. I laughed and said Noah always knew what he wanted. Ethan nodded and said Noah was honest. I heard the word honest like a small punch. Cassidy drifted behind me, phone in hand. I could tell she wanted content. She did not say it, but she did not need to. Her eyes were already framed like a camera. A man from the parent committee walked up and said they would do a short thank you speech. He asked families to gather near the stage. People moved in. The room got tighter. The noise got louder. This was the kind of crowd where one line could turn into a rumor in 10 minutes. Cassidy said this was the moment to show Ethan I was not scared. I asked what she meant. She said I should make a joke again, but softer, so everyone could hear and laugh. Paige said we should not do that. Cassidy said Paige was always afraid. I said I was not afraid. When the committee man started talking, Ethan stepped back with the kids to give them space. He stood behind them, like a guard. He did not touch my arm. He did not try to move me. He just stood there, present. I leaned toward Cassidy and said, loud enough for a few people near us, that Ethan had been acting like a monk lately. I said it with a smile. I said I did not know if he was married to me or married to his own rules. A couple people laughed. I saw one phone lift a little, like someone was catching sound. Ethan did not react. He did not even turn his head. That should have made me stop. Instead, it made me push harder. I told myself he was trying to make me look crazy by staying calm. I told myself his calm was a trick. After the speech, there was a raffle drawing. People clapped and cheered. Someone started a silly chant for the bake sale teacher, and the room laughed. In that noise, Cassidy said I should say something bold again, like a toast. I lifted my cup of punch and said I hoped everyone found a partner who actually liked sharing a bed. I did not say Ethan's name, but I did not need to. The people who knew, knew. A few laughs popped out, quick and uncomfortable. A woman near me gave a tight smile and looked away. Paige stared at me like I had stepped too far. Cassidy grinned, like she had won something. Ethan finally looked at me. He did not glare. He did not threaten. He just watched me, the way a person watches a storm from behind glass. He asked, quiet, if I could stop. He did not say it like a fight. He said it like a request for basic decency. That made me feel exposed. I told him he was embarrassing me by being stiff. He asked how he was embarrassing me when he was not speaking. I said his silence was loud. He said he did not want to argue in front of the kids. I said he should have thought of the kids before he started punishing me with distance. Maya tugged Ethan's sleeve and asked if they could go. Ethan said yes. He asked me if I was coming with them or staying. I said I would stay because I did not want to look like I was being sent home. He nodded once and told the kids they would go wait in the car for a few minutes. When he turned, I saw the edge of a folder under his arm. It was plain, but I caught the label because the letters were dark. Taxes. That was odd. He never brought home paperwork to school events. He kept work separate. That was one of his rules. He walked toward the hallway near the storage room. I watched him without meaning to. He paused near a side table where some donated supplies sat. His hand moved fast and small. For a second, I saw a tiny USB drive. It looked like it had a strip of tape on it with a date written in thin ink. He slid it into the folder like it was nothing. Then he looked back and saw me looking. I felt caught, even though I did not know what I was caught doing. I lifted my chin and acted bored. I asked Cassidy if she wanted to go outside for air. Cassidy said yes, and Paige said she would come too. Outside, the air was cold and clean. The parking lot lights made the cars look pale. My phone buzzed. It was Rafe. Rafe asked how my night was going. I said it was a mess and Ethan was trying to make me look bad. Rafe said I deserved someone who understood me. I said Ethan never understood me. Rafe asked if I wanted to meet by the river after the event. I said maybe, and my thumb hovered like it had its own mind. Paige asked who I was texting. I said it was a friend. Paige asked if it was smart. I said Paige always acted like my mother. Paige said she was only trying to help. I said help was another word for control. Cassidy said Ethan looked like he was collecting evidence. I laughed and said Ethan was not that kind of man. But the laugh came out thin. When we went back inside, Ethan was gone. The kids were gone. There was no scene, no shouting, no drama, just empty space where he had been. People around me acted like nothing happened, but I felt eyes. I felt quiet judgment, the kind that does not ask questions because it already decided. On the drive home later, I kept seeing that folder label in my head. I kept seeing the taped USB, the date I could not read, and the way Ethan's calm did not crack. I told myself it was probably work stuff. I told myself I was imagining things. Still, when I walked into the house and saw his mug on the far side of the counter again, I did not feel like the winner. I felt like someone had started a process without me, and I was only now noticing the first small steps. I planned the family dinner like it was a meeting. I told myself we needed witnesses. If Ethan was going to act cold, then I wanted people to see it. I wanted my mother to see it. I wanted his mother to see it. I wanted a room full of adults to confirm my version. We met at a family restaurant with a long table and loud lighting. The kind of place where kids can spill water and no one cares. I arrived first with Paige and the kids. Cassidy was not invited, but she still texted asking if I wanted her support. I said no, because I needed this to look serious. Ethan came in with his parents. Marjorie Caldwell walked like she had a ruler inside her back. Wes Caldwell followed with his hands in his pockets, like he was trying to disappear. Ethan helped Noah into a chair and asked Maya what she wanted to drink. He did not look at me much. He did not hold my gaze. I felt like I had become background noise. My mother, Darlene, sat across from Ethan on purpose. She smiled in a tight way and asked Ethan how work was. Ethan said it was fine. My mother asked if he was still being difficult at home. Ethan asked what she meant. She said he knew what she meant. Paige tried to change the topic and asked about the school fundraiser. Nobody listened to her. I told myself I would be calm. Then Marjorie looked at me and asked, very quietly, if I thought my jokes were funny. I said they were jokes, and people were too sensitive. Marjorie said she did not understand how humiliating a spouse could be a joke. I said Ethan humiliated me first by acting like I was a problem. Ethan asked how he humiliated me. I said he embarrassed me with his silence and his rules. Wes cleared his throat and asked if we could keep it civil for the kids. My mother said the kids should see truth. Ethan said the kids should see adults act decent. That word decent made my chest tighten. The waiter came and asked for drink orders. Ethan asked for water. I asked for a soda, then I changed it to sparkling water because I wanted to look composed. The waiter asked if we were celebrating something. My mother said we were celebrating family values. She said it like a jab. Ethan did not react. He just thanked the waiter. Maya asked if she could get chicken tenders. Ethan said yes. Noah asked if he could get dessert first. Ethan said no, but he said it softly. I watched him parent like he had not been punched in the throat by my words. It felt unfair. When the food came, my mother started in. She asked Ethan why he had been sleeping in the guest room. Ethan said he wanted space. My mother asked if that was his way to punish me. Ethan said he was not punishing anyone. He said he was making things calm. My mother said calm was just another word for cold. I jumped in because silence was not safe. I said Ethan had been pulling away for months. I said he acted like I was too much. I said he made me feel unwanted. Ethan asked when he made me feel unwanted. I said he knew. He asked for one example. I said I should not have to list them like evidence in court. Marjorie's eyes lifted at the word court, and I hated myself for saying it. Marjorie said she had seen the clip. She said it was ugly. I asked how she saw it. She said people send things when kids are involved. I said people should mind their business. Marjorie said I made it everyone's business when I performed it. My father, Glenn, sat at the end of the table and stared at his plate. He asked if we could talk about something else. My mother told him not to hide. Paige pressed her lips together and looked at me like she wanted to warn me but could not. Ethan spoke again, still calm. He said he did not want a public fight. He said he would not argue about the clip at a restaurant. I said he was acting superior. He asked how wanting peace was superior. I said he was trying to make me look unstable. He said he did not need to try. That line hit me. It felt like he had punched me without moving his hands. My mother called him cruel. Ethan said he was not calling me names. He was stating reality. I told myself he was gaslighting me, even while I was the one twisting words. Noah dropped a fork. The sound was loud. Everyone stopped. Maya looked at me and Ethan, and then at the table like she wished it could swallow her. Maya asked if we were getting a divorce. She said it in a small voice, like she already knew the answer. My throat went tight. I said no, and I said she should not say that word. Ethan said we were not talking about adult things at dinner. Marjorie reached across and squeezed Maya's hand. In the car after dinner, Paige told me I had gone too far. She said Marjorie would never forgive me now. I said Marjorie already hated me. Paige said it was not hate, it was disappointment. I said disappointment was just a nice word for judgment. The next day at school pickup, I tried to act normal. I stood in the line and smiled at other parents. I pretended my home was not cracking. But gossip has its own legs. One parent, a woman named Cheryl, asked if everything was okay. I said yes, and I said people love to exaggerate. Cheryl said she had seen Ethan looking tired lately. She said he always looked polite. I said polite men could still be controlling. Cheryl nodded, but her eyes said she was not convinced. Ethan arrived later than usual. He parked carefully, like he always did. He got out and waited near the gate. He did not come stand close to me. That distance made people stare more, not less. Maya ran to Ethan first. Noah followed. Ethan bent down and asked about their day. He asked Maya if she had homework. She said yes. He asked Noah if he listened to his teacher. Noah said mostly. I stood there like an extra. Ethan asked if I needed anything from the store. I said no. He asked if we could talk about schedules for the next week. I said he was trying to control my time. He said he was trying to keep the kids steady. I said the kids would be steady if he stopped acting like a robot. He said robots do not cry at night. He said it quietly, like it slipped out. I watched other parents pretend not to listen. I felt heat rise in my face. I wanted to win back the crowd, so I laughed and said Ethan was being dramatic again. Ethan did not answer. He just buckled Noah into the car seat and checked the strap twice. At home, the air felt tight. Ethan went to the hallway closet and took out a small stack of folders. The labels were plain. Utilities, bank, household. He set them on the desk and lined them up. I asked what he was doing. He said he was organizing. I asked why now. He said now was a good time. I saw a sticky note on the edge of the desk that said, "Bring forms." I pretended I did not see it, but my eyes kept coming back. Ethan slid the folders into a drawer and locked it. The click was sharp. He put a new key on his ring and clipped the ring to his belt like it mattered. I said he was acting paranoid. He asked why I called planning paranoia. I said because he was trying to scare me. He said he was not trying to scare me. He said he was trying to be clear. That night, I sat on the couch with my phone and scrolled through comments on the old clip. Some people called me brave. Others called me cruel. I told myself the cruel ones were just insecure. I told myself I was allowed to be honest. Still, when I heard the drawer lock click again upstairs, like he was checking it twice, my stomach turned. I started to feel like my story was slipping away from me, one quiet, lawful step at a time. Saturday was supposed to be easy. I told myself we would do chores, take the kids to the park, and pretend we were normal. I told myself a family can reset if everyone tries. What I really meant was that Ethan should reset and stop acting hurt. In the morning, I found Ethan in the kitchen with the same calm face. He had already made oatmeal for the kids. Maya ate quietly. Noah asked for a second spoon of sugar. Ethan said no, and he said it like he was saving Noah from a bad habit, not saving our family from a fire. I asked Ethan if he was going to keep acting like a stranger. He asked what I meant. I said he stopped looking at me. He said he looked at me when I spoke to him respectfully. I said, respect should not be a condition. He said respect was the base, not a reward. I did not like how simple he made it. Paige called while I was rinsing a cup. She asked if the restaurant dinner made things worse. I said Ethan was turning everyone against me. Paige said I turned people against myself when I made jokes in public. I said Paige sounded like Marjorie now. Paige said she was worried about the kids. I said the kids were fine and the adults were the problem. After breakfast, Ethan asked if we could do groceries together. He said the fridge was empty and the kids needed snacks for school. I said yes, because I did not want him to do it alone. If he did it alone, he could say I did nothing. I knew how stories work. Whoever does the work gets the sympathy. In the car, Ethan drove steady. His phone sat face down. I noticed that now. He did not leave it open on the console anymore. He asked if I had plans later. I said no. He asked if I was still talking to Cassidy about posting things. I said Cassidy was my friend, and he did not get to pick my friends. He asked if I understood how the clip harmed him. I said he harmed himself by being too sensitive. He asked if I would stop calling cruelty sensitivity. I said he was dramatic again. At the supermarket, the lights were harsh. The kids ran to the cart like it was a game. Ethan told Noah to stay close. He told Maya to pick fruit with him. He acted like the small leader of a small world. I kept thinking he was doing it on purpose, like he wanted to show the store that he was the steady parent. We moved through aisles. Ethan read labels. He compared prices. I grabbed nicer items and told him we deserved them. He said we needed to be careful right now. I asked what he meant by right now. He said nothing, and that made me feel like he meant everything. My phone buzzed in my pocket. I did not look at it right away because Ethan was watching the kids. Still, I felt the buzz like a secret. At checkout, Noah asked for gum. Ethan said no. Noah pouted. I said we could get one pack. Ethan said no again, but still calm. I felt annoyed because calm made him look reasonable. I wanted him to snap so I could say, "See, he is the problem." The cashier scanned our items. The total was higher than I expected because I had added the nicer things. I took out my card anyway. I liked paying. Paying made me feel important. Paying made me feel like the house ran on me. I tapped the card. The machine beeped. The screen flashed. The cashier said the card did not go through. She asked if I wanted to try again. I laughed like it was silly. I tapped again. Declined. The cashier's smile got tight. People behind us shifted. I felt heat rise in my face. I said the machine was wrong. The cashier said it might be the card. Ethan stepped forward without rushing. He took out his card and tapped once. Approved. He did not look at the cashier like he was proud. He did not look at me like he was winning. He just paid, picked up the bags, and asked Noah to hold Maya's hand. That should have been kind. It did not feel kind. It felt like a quiet announcement that something had changed. In the parking lot, I asked Ethan what he did. He asked what I meant. I said my card never declines. He said it can happen. I said it does not happen to me. He said maybe it happened today. That calm tone again, like a wall. I said he was embarrassing me in public. He asked how he embarrassed me when I was the one tapping the card. I said he could have warned me. He said he did not know it would happen. I said he always knew more than he told me. He said he told me what mattered. I asked who decided what mattered. He said adults decide based on patterns. I told myself he was calling me a child. I told myself he was attacking me without saying it. On the drive home, my phone buzzed again. This time, I looked. It was Rafe. He asked if I was okay. He said he had been thinking about me since the fundraiser. He said I deserved to be appreciated. I stared at the words and felt my chest loosen for a second. Ethan asked who was texting. I said it was Paige. Ethan asked why Paige texted like that. I said it was none of his business. He asked why everything was none of his business when it affected the family. I said he was being controlling again. When we pulled into the driveway, Ethan turned off the engine and stayed still. The kids were in the back seat, quiet, like they sensed the air. Ethan asked if we could talk without yelling. I said I was not the one yelling. He asked where I had been after the fundraiser. I said I went home. He asked what time. I said I did not know. He asked why I did not know. I said because I was not writing a report for him. He asked if I met anyone by the river. I felt my stomach drop, but I kept my face steady. I asked why he was making things up. He asked if it was made up. I said yes. He asked why my location history showed otherwise. I said my phone could be wrong. I said apps track things wrong all the time. He asked why the wrong time matched the message I sent him saying I was stuck in traffic. I said traffic can move. I said I was not a robot like him. Maya asked if we were fighting again. I turned fast and smiled at her. I said we were just talking. Ethan looked back too and said we were just talking and everything would be okay for them. His voice stayed even, and that made Maya relax more than my smile did. I hated noticing that. Inside the house, Ethan carried the bags in. One trip, no complaint. I followed and started putting items away too hard, like I could slam dignity back into place. I said he was making money into a weapon. He asked what weapon. I said the card decline was not an accident. He said he did not touch my card. I said he changed something. He asked if I was accusing him of something serious. I said I was accusing him of being petty. He asked again if I was seeing someone. I laughed and said he was paranoid. He asked why I always laughed when he asked a direct question. I said because the question was insulting. He asked why it was insulting if it was false. I said because it showed what he thought of me. He said it showed what my behavior made him fear. He walked to the desk area and checked the locked drawer like he was checking the stove. Click. Then he opened his laptop for a moment. I saw a cloud sync message pop up and disappear fast. I caught the words, "File uploaded successfully," and my skin prickled. I asked what he uploaded. He said household records. I said he was building a case. He asked why I used that word. I said because he was acting like a judge. He said he was acting like a parent who needed stability. I tried crying. I did not even plan it. Tears just came because fear can do that. I said he was breaking our family. I said he was pushing me away. I said he never touched me and never tried. I said he made me lonely, so I had to find warmth somewhere else. I did not say Rafe's name. I let the sentence sit there like smoke. Ethan did not comfort me. He did not call me names. He did not threaten me. He just watched me like he was learning something he did not want to learn. He asked if I understood what I was admitting. I said I admitted nothing. I said I was describing feelings. He said feelings do not erase choices. I said choices happen when needs are ignored. He asked if I believed needs give permission. I said people do what they must to survive. He said nobody here was starving. Then he said the line that made my stomach go cold. He said he would handle it properly. He said he would not argue in front of the kids, and he would not beg, and he would not shout. He said he would do what adults do when trust is gone. I opened my mouth to answer, but the words did not land. For the first time, I could not find a clean way to twist it. I just stood there in the kitchen, with groceries half put away, and felt like the floor had shifted under my feet. My phone buzzed at noon, but it was not Ethan. In the office tower lobby, a woman in a blazer asked if I was Alithea Binnie. I said yes. She said she was serving divorce papers and temporary orders. My co-workers froze. I laughed and said Ethan was being dramatic. She said this was filed and effective today. It said Ethan had exclusive use of the house, my spending access was limited, and kid exchanges followed a written schedule. I called Ethan. He replied he would only discuss the kids. HR asked me to step aside, and everyone watched silently.